Hello everyone, I'm Ruth Ann.
I'm Chris.
And we are GeekChic Promotions. We are recording a little ahead of schedule for our Weekend Rager Nerd Rage. What up? We're gonna drink a little red wine while we rage. Clinks to you.
Yay.
Yeah, clinks to you. See?
Yeah.
Yeah, not bad, right?
We're talking about how this is a really crappy wine, but
If you use a little aerator,
makes it better.
it makes it better. Yeah, not too bad.
Being trashy today.
Yeah, buddy. Trashy and Nerd Rage. Okay, so the thing that we saw in the news this week is that they're doing a Shrek reboot.
Yes.
That's right, a reboot of a show, a movie that came out 2003? 10?
Well, 10 was the last one.
Was the last
and
one.
I believe there was 5 of them? 4 of them?
Four.
Yeah.
Probably.
So regardless, my thoughts on that were not great because first of all, when I read the headline, it was basically that they wanted to bring back the original voice actors, to which my response was, then it's not a reboot.
It's not a reboot. Then aren't you just doing a sequel or
it's just another one.
Yeah, it's just another one. Well, then what is there even to fix? Like, it's an animated, so this is what I don't understand, is
how do you reboot? How do you reboot?
And why?
Like, is
it's
Shrek not Shrek?
Story.
Is Shrek something else? Is he not an ogre? Like, that, I don't, because that's what a reboot is.
Yeah.
Or, like, are you taking him and, like, taking him out of his world and, like, I don't even know. Like,
but
how do you reboot Shrek?
I don't know. I don't know how you even reboot a animated feature. Because, like, yeah, we've had a million different versions of Spider-Man over the last 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
But, like...
I guess that's a reboot.
Yeah, those are reboots.
That's a reboot. Well, they tell the same story over and over and over again.
Yeah, but
Okay.
at least they have different actors and directors.
Spoilers, Uncle Ben dies.
Yeah, right.
Just so you know.
And, with
That
great
does not
power
change.
comes great responsibility.
Every time you reboot, he dies again.
Again! Oh, except for the latest reboot of Spider-Man, which the Tom Holland?
Yes.
Okay.
Tom Holland.
Holland?
Yes. But anyway, off topic. So here's the thing. I read, we want to bring back the original voice actors. But then less than an hour later, they were like, oh, JK, Joaquin Phoenix is now cast
as like the
voice
younger
of
Shrek. As they're like, we're going to do like the before he became
the
like,
origin
the
story
origin story
of Shrek. Which
ogre story? No.
That's also not a reboot.
It's not a reboot. It's just...
That's just the origin story.
Yeah.
But also Joaquin Phoenix, guys, I am
not on board.
Not on board
I'm not
with
on
it
board.
all. I'm like, if there's two people I'm really sick of, it's Jared Leto and Joaquin Phoenix.
Bing, 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 bing.
I'm like, can we stop with them just for
a minute? Can we just breathe?
A minute.
For a second.
So I'm not on board with him being in a Shrek movie. And I hate saying that because honestly, okay, we just had this discussion of like, we shouldn't judge. We shouldn't prejudge because look at Tom Cruise in like Interview with a Vampire. Like, remember how we just had this discussion
the whole
last week?
Witcher thing.
Yes. So we really are not following our own advice.
But
We're
it's
bitching.
Shrek though.
And
We're
it's
nerd
Shrek.
raging because we're
It's
passionate
Shrek.
about this.
Yes. And apparently there was another Shrek movie that was in the works, another part 5 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
That
Eddie Murphy was saying,
that yes, it's coming back, and it was due to be released in 2018, 2019, but apparently that got shelved for some reason.
Because
this guy who came in from Despicable Me, and now he wants to take it over and do his own version
Despicable
of it.
Me is great. I love those
Agreed.
movies. Those
Agreed.
are they're adorable, they're funny, but like
I'm just
Shrek,
against
though.
calling it a reboot. I'm just like, this is not a reboot.
Just be a sequel or a prequel.
Why?
Even though I don't really want either of those things for Shrek, because I feel like they're kind of perfect as they are.
This is what I'm wondering now. Okay, now that we've been like talking about this for 5 minutes, I'm like, okay, is this a studio thing? Where like he was like, hey,
they want the
I want to
rights?
do Shrek, and they were like, we're not doing another Shrek. We already had one. We shelved it because blah 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 blah. And so his pitch was, how about a reboot? And
Everybody loves
everybody's
reboots.
doing it. And
The
so
reboot
the
party,
studio,
woo-hoo!
Universal, was like, oh hey, yeah, let's do a reboot. That sounds so much better. And I wonder if it's just some dipshits in the higher up offices were like, yeah, that
Hey,
sounds great.
if you guys are watching this,
Hey,
Mr.
Universal.
Executive people, tell us what happened. Why? Why do you think this is a good idea? Just
It's weird because we used to know people who worked at Universal,
is true.
but now we don't. They moved
don't.
on. So
Yeah.
that's a good thing. Otherwise, I'd just be picking up the phone and be like, what?
what? Hey! Hey! I'm like, see if it's just even in the same universe as Shrek, but just like another story. Okay, like that's a whole new thing too. Because did you see? Because of course now that I'm catching up with like Supernatural and all the other CW shows, I'm seeing all the commercials for the other CW shows, and now there's a Legacy show, which is basically in the same world of Vampire Diaries and Originals, and it's like the continuation of all of them. And you know what it is I'm looking, and like Vampire Diaries just barely ended, right? Like barely.
Yep.
And like that was a severely gorgeous cast, but now they're just gotten even younger and more pretty, and I can't even look at them. Like they're just like, I feel like it's just like dolls, like la 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 la, like on screen.
Like there's no way there's children this beautiful in the world that are all friends and all in this world. Like it's just
I'm a witch, I'm pretty,
impossibility.
and it's just like these like blank beautiful eyes of just like la la la,
Just
like
vacancy
yeah.
there. I was like, what am I doing? I'm repeating my lines. Yeah.
I'm so pretty. I am so pretty. I am very pretty.
You're being very mean.
No, I'm such. It's just I can't even look at it because like that's what made shows interesting, is that like there is characters of depth.
Definitely.
And like just you can be very pretty and have depth. I just don't see that very often anymore.
No, it's true. I mean, and part of the reason why we like shows that we like are because characters are flawed and
Yeah.
I like, for instance, all right, let's address the whole Lost Girl thing. All right.
So
Ruthann recently posted.
Because I just barely started watching the show.
Yes, which by the way, I had never heard of the show either.
Never heard of it.
I'm on her side.
Yeah, thank you,
You're
friend.
welcome. You're welcome.
So it was one of those things that Netflix was like suggested for Ruthann. Like, okay, like
let's give this a shot.
Yeah, because like
I'm doubtful.
I'm out of things to binge. Like my anime shows aren't updating that often right now. Let's see what we got. And I was like, oh, this is lovely. And I totally know that I'm completely behind the times because it came out in like
2015. It ended in 2017, started in like 2013.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So it's older, so I get it. But I had people where in the post I even say like, oh, I'm finally just getting to this. Like, bam, people are just like, how could you possibly have missed this? Like what is wrong with you?
Oh, Ruthann, you're so out of the loop.
I know, nerd card revoked. I'm
Exactly.
Like, okay, first of all.
They've been appearing at conventions forever, Ruthann. What?
They've been at the same conventions you're at. Like, I don't. Sorry. I go.
It was kind of funny actually to read. But I had never heard of it either, and so I watched a couple episodes too, and I was like, "Oh, this is really good."
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's very fun. So
is.
this is the part partly rage, partly rave, because it's a great show. I'm totally addicted.
Yes.
But
And I totally forgot where I started off going with this thing. Oh, okay. So when I watched it, the first episode, after seeing what Ruthann was dealing with on her Facebook, I was like, I gotta check this shit out. I feel like an asshole. And anyway, I saw that, number one, the lead girl looks like Anna Kendrick.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Which Anna Kendrick, beautiful,
yes.
but very interesting, beautiful.
Yeah, she's not
not Barbie doll beautiful.
Yeah. She's a very she's like a. I mean, this sounds insulting, but it's not. She's like a poor man's Anna Kendrick, because she's super pretty still, but she's not exactly Anna Kendrick. But when you look at her, it's like reminiscent, and you're like, oh, okay. But she's definitely not as beautiful. And then the lead guy looks like the lead singer of Coldplay.
Yes. Yeah,
so
but they're again not plastic pretty,
Martin,
but
he's got
gorgeous.
kind of more droopy eyes. Like it's really strange. You're just like, oh yeah, I can get on board with that because you're like, oh, it's Chris Martin kissing Anna Kendrick. That's what you think when you watch it, but it's not them. It's totally not them. But
they're just interesting.
They're just interesting looking, yeah.
And they are, like I said, they're gorgeous, but they're just not that blank, plasticky gorgeous.
Yeah, exactly.
Cookie cutter gorgeous. They're just they're very interesting, and they're very
Canadian.
Which there was little things that they kept saying. I was like, this must be a Canadian show, because they keep dropping merde instead of saying shit or bullshit, and they do curse on the show, but one of the characters, she always even though she's Russian, she keeps throwing in random French words.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I was like, oh,
I did not notice
they're
that.
In Canada.
They're in Canada.
Yes.
Yeah, I looked
Our
it up.
neighbors are the
I
north.
actually Googled it because I was like, why haven't I heard of this show? Like, what channel was it on? When did it run? Like, I was like super curious about it.
Because
And
we just
yeah,
really didn't hear about
honestly, it's like right up our alley. So
Yeah.
it was like a little weird. And no one's ever recommended it to me, by the way.
Nobody,
Yeah, no
Thank
one.
you, Netflix.
Yeah, and
Your algorithms work.
Yeah.
Sometimes they are way off.
yeah. Well, sometimes like you turn something off halfway through, and then it thinks that you watched it, and that you're interested in everything.
Yeah, I was
like
like,
that. And you're
no,
like,
do I really have to thumbs
Like,
down it?
that
Because
suck.
no.
Yeah, like
Boo.
anyway, that's a total other topic.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Total different rage.
so I saw it was on some crazy channel that I'd never heard of, and I was like, what? That's how I found out it was Canadian. And then apparently they ran it on Sci-Fi, which I don't get Sci-Fi guys, so.
You know what's interesting with everybody like, how did you possibly miss it? I had to really think of the last time I've had cable TV.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I've ever actually had cable TV.
Huh.
Because, and this is another story of Ruth Ann living in the woods.
Oh, God. I hate these
Cable,
stories.
cable didn't come out to where I lived. It would come to where my grandma lived, but it wouldn't come all the way out to me. And then by
Yeah,
the
but that's not 2013.
I know, but so I'm just saying the first time I had cable was I'd go to my grandma's house to watch cable, and that was,
Well, I
you know,
don't
I was a
remember
kid.
us having cable.
But then any other house I lived in, we never had cable.
well,
And then everybody just started doing the, you know, the streaming stuff.
yeah,
and
when
that's
I,
all I've done
when
pretty
I
much
moved out,
since.
like the first thing I did was get
2008.
TiVo. Yeah, back in 1999, I believe, the first thing I did was get TiVo in my apartment when I moved out. Yeah, so, yeah. Anyway, but you have to know about these things in order to get them, Ruth Ann.
No, I knew about them, but by the time I was in high school, I don't think I'd never go home.
I just one of the things like the Sci-Fi Channel isn't a package of all this other bunch of bullshit that I don't need or want. And
yeah,
so
and it costs like X amount more.
and you can get the movies that are on Sci-Fi Channel. Like you can wait for them to come on Netflix. They do, or you can purchase them. You can purchase seasons on Amazon Prime. So that's what I do now. If there's like literally anything, like I don't get AMC either, but like I can purchase like Better Call Saul or whatever
Yeah,
else
on
you can,
on
Amazon
Prime.
You can just purchase the season, and it's cheaper than getting the cable. So, PSA guys.
Yeah, right. So brought to you by. We are not sponsored by anybody.
We're not, but we would love to be.
We would love to be. We'll
Yeah,
talk a lot
well,
of awesome things and not rage about your stuff.
20 of our subscribers, only 13 of which watch this. So, come on, guys, that's at least 10%. Jeez. Anyway,
Moving on.
moving on.
But yes, that is my rave for the week. You definitely should check out Lost Girl. It's a good one. Finally caught up on Supernatural. I'm on board.
Yep, Supernatural's good this season. And one thing that I wanted to rave about was, or rage, I don't even know which one, was Ruth Ann showed me that Swamp Thing is being made into a series.
Yes.
And that is one of my favorite comics, the Alan Moore run, of course, which was an absolutely beautifully told story. And it, like, I don't even own it anymore. I think somebody lent it to me. He who shall not be named lent it to me, and and I read it because he was like, everybody needs to read this comic, like, and he's right, like it's truly an amazing piece of work because Alan Moore is Alan Moore. But when I saw that it was coming as a series, I was like super excited. The picture looked great, but then I found out it was on DC Universe's thing, and honestly, it's too much, guys. Like, there's too many.
So for those that don't know,
yeah.
DC Universe is yet another streaming service that you have to purchase to be able to get any of
Which
DC's
I kind of want to
TV shows.
see stuff that's like more so than CBS, for instance.
Yeah.
CBS All Access, meh. Like it's got a Star Trek. Meh.
I'm gonna have to sign back up.
I know.
just to watch
I know,
Star
but
Trek.
like DC Universe is getting me because like there's a whole bunch of stuff I really want to see, but I'm like, oh man,
How much
come
is that
on,
going
like,
to cost a month?
How
you
much is
know?
it going to cost me a month? And I already get Hulu, I already get Amazon Prime that I pay for, and I already get Netflix, and like I already pay for a couple other apps that I get that stuff on, and you know it's getting to be.
Remember when everything
a
was
lot.
either on Hulu or Netflix? Wasn't that nice?
Yes,
I miss
it
those
was
days.
nice. Or it was you could just put an antenna on your wall and you can get the rest of it live. Like
Yeah.
it's just a lot of it. Yeah, it's. I have to sit down and figure out, like, when I was, like, going to cut the cord with cable, I actually sat down and I figured out how much everything would cost, like, to purchase it. I'm like, okay, so these are the things that I cannot get through Hulu or Netflix or Amazon Prime where I would have to purchase a season. So am I willing to do that? Like, CBS was one of them, like, shows on CBS. So I went through it all and I was like, yes, if I cut the cord on cable, and this is
Just
figuring
purchase
in
these.
HBO had
Yeah.
just launched their app, that was separate. So I'm like, yes, and Showtime, yes, Stars, yes, because I gotta watch my Outlander, all that stuff.
My Outlander fix.
Gotta watch my Outlander. And I figured out it was cheaper, but then like when you add in all this other new stuff that's coming with like DC Universe, like all of a sudden I'm like, is it gonna outweigh it? Like, how much am I gonna watch on there versus what I'm paying? Like, is it worth it? And also, can I watch more in 1 week? I don't know if I can, to be honest. It's pretty full. My slate is pretty full. I literally right now feel like I am hanging on by a thread, being caught up on stuff.
Yeah.
Because there's so much.
There's
that
so
I'm
much
watching
you have to keep
that I'm trying to keep up on. And and
Like every night it's like 3 episodes.
Yes.
Or something. Yeah, I've definitely, and I said it like jokingly earlier, but there's a lot of my anime is not like re-upping that, like they're on season breaks or whatever. So it's like I only have like 2 anime right now that I've been watching.
Well, you have to like
actually updating.
You use like, that break to catch up.
Yeah, on everything
That's
else.
what I did.
Yeah. So now I just need to catch up. So the last is just Supergirl. Should I do the Flash?
The latest Supergirl was written by Eric, by the way.
Oh.
So we need
Yay,
to watch
Eric.
it.
I
Yay,
do need to
Eric.
watch it.
Yes, we have to watch that.
How's Flash been doing? Anybody keeping up on Flash?
I'm keeping up on Flash.
Is that worth it this season?
Yeah, I
Okay.
like it. I like it this
Okay.
season. Flash's daughter comes back.
Yes. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm on board.
It's interesting. Very interesting.
So really, so just those 2 shows.
Arrow?
Everything
Yeah.
else, I'm caught up. I'm done. I'm sorry. I gave up on Arrow a long time ago.
I mean, this season's kind of interesting because he's an inmate and he's no longer Arrow. He's inmate, blah, 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 blah. But I don't like what's going on outside the prison. I think it's incredibly boring and it's stupid. So I
Yeah.
actually am more on board with what's happening with him in prison than... I don't know. Anyway,
Interesting.
So, yes.
Um,
And I think I watched that out of habit.
yeah, there's a few that I was watching out of habit and I just stopped. Like
I
have
gotta stop that.
Riverdale. I
gotta
kind of gave
stop.
up on.
Really?
It got kind of too much.
Because
For
like
me.
they take like honestly like this is what I think they're doing. I think they're taking something else and they're mirroring it. So like they did like Twin Peaks the first season. I think this season is definitely a True Detective vibe because they got like the weird symbols that are in the forest, and then they had the cult and and
All right,
the
maybe
killings and stuff.
I'll look it up.
Yeah,
again.
and I was actually this one I really liked it, and they've got Archie's in juvenile detention because he was framed by Veronica's father. So yes. Anyway.
So that is a
Yeah.
positive from
Yes.
Chris to watch that show. Faux
Yeah.
show.
Mm-hmm. Plus, like, I think, like, the whole Archie universe is getting ready to, like, do something really exciting. Like, especially with Sabrina.
Oh,
The Chilling
Sabrina was
Adventures
so
of-
good.
I think, like, honestly, they're on the right track. And everybody's bitching that, like, oh, you're making, like, fun things go dark. And I'm like, yeah, but this one's fun.
But,
Like-
okay. But the thing that they
Like, I
did...
get it, but this one's fun.
In some ways, I feel like this Sabrina... Yes, like, a lot of the concepts were much darker, but I feel like Sabrina herself and her friends seemed much more teenager-ish than even
Yes.
the original.
It
like,
actually almost reminded me of, like, an early Buffy.
yes,
like,
yes.
so-
It gave me aggressive
Yes.
Buffy vibes.
Yes.
And I was on
And
board.
that's why I was like, they're just like teenagers.
Yeah.
And they're acting like teenagers,
Mhm.
but like, and I know like there was a complaint that like there was like, so she's obviously been raised as a witch her whole life. So in this first episode, when she's supposed to be getting baptized and signing her name in the Dark Lord's book or whatever, that she's been raised this way, so there shouldn't have been such a conflict. Because obviously she's been knowing that this has been coming for her whole life.
Yeah.
So why is there such a conflict within her? Like, this decision should have already been made. She's either on board or she's not. And so it was almost like a little bit of a stretch. But also, I'm like, well, you got to have your exposition.
Well, okay, but using
the
that same
audience has to be
analogy,
brought on
like
board.
most kids know they want to go to college, but it isn't until like
Also
they're
true.
still like like
And I
it's
think,
always like at the
honestly,
very end they're like, okay, I'm gonna go to this place.
The
Like,
fact that she got a boyfriend was, like, I think what did it for her, like, of being like, oh, wait a minute, like, and she was like all about, like, I'm lying to him, I'm telling him I'm going away to boarding school, and then it was just, she didn't realize how difficult it was going to be. So that's what I say to the naysayers. I'm like, you know
yeah,
what?
and then he gave her the
You're
gift,
gonna complain
and they
about
definitely
that,
like were
yeah.
falling in love.
I think it was really well done for exposition. I think it probably could have been a little bit smoother, but hey, you got to fit a lot of crap in there. In the
Yeah,
first
especially
episode.
that first
so-
episode.
But anyway, so yeah. Oh my gosh, what else can we talk about with Anne? Because I feel like we've just gone all over the place.
Yeah,
with
we have
everything.
as usual. Well, I think we can cut it off here, and then because next week we're gonna go see the new Harry Potter movie.
Yes, we are.
and discuss that on the show. So
That will be live.
that will be
We're
live.
gonna have a special guest with us who is
Uber
yeah,
fan.
absolutely. Maybe even two special guests that are gonna really delve into it. And
We're gonna really talk about some Harry Potter universe.
We're gonna talk about, and definitely gonna be some raginess in there too.
Will
because
definitely be.
We all know once you watch that movie,
There's
stuff
gonna
to
be
rage.
there's
Stuff
gonna
to rage
be
about.
stuff to discuss.
Yes.
We're guessing it will be spoilers.
Spoilers, yes. There will be spoilers. And so if you're not going to see it on Friday or Saturday morning, then you should maybe wait to watch because, yeah.
Yeah, we will tell
And
all the secrets.
We will be giving the spoilers heads up to you on all of our descriptions. So
Yeah, like I feel like sometimes they just hold up
show
like
like
a
a
spoiler
spoiler
sign,
thing,
like
yeah.
don't do it. It's spoiler.
Yep. Unless you don't care about it. If you don't care, then you can listen
Yeah,
to
come
us.
on,
It doesn't
come
matter.
on, join. It's all good in the hood.
You can troll us.
Yeah.
We'll be able to handle it. It's
Yeah,
fine.
we're pretty good at that. Yeah. Well, guys, thank you for joining.
Yeah.
And Chris, thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to you guys, and we will see you next week.
weekend.
Bye.